Thank you for taking time to listen to the 39th Street Church of Christ Daily Devotional. The devotion today is What Are You Longing For? By Jack Williams. I was driving down the road and looked over, and there was a store that had just opened up. Got all sorts of regulations. You can't go in if you got more than so many people in there and various things. But I noticed there's a line. And that line was at least a quarter mile long. It went down the side of the building, it went around the parking lot, and then went back out. And I thought, those people are wanting to get in there, something terrible. Well, I don't know of anything in that store that I'd wait that long for. But then it made me think a little bit. What is it that we're longing to get back into? A lot of people look and they say, well, I bet you're anxious to get a haircut. And in truth, I am. A lot of people think I need one, but I went by there today and there was a big long line. You had to park outside, sign your name, wait for them to come out and get you, and wear a mask. And I went away and I thought I looked kind of cute with long hair. But then I also think about things that I do long for. I looked in the scriptures and I found out in the book of Acts, the 20th chapter, in verse 6, the Apostle Paul, he and his traveling companions were kind of in a hurry. But in verse 6, it says they tarried 7 days. He must have really wanted to get in someplace, didn't he? Well, in verse 7, you find that that place was the brethren at Troas. And he had tarried that long. He had waited that long, even though he had other things he felt like were needful, but this was more important, to get with the brethren. And on the first day of the week, they came together and broke bread. They took communion together. The Apostle Paul thought that was pretty important, and he longed for it, apparently. I look over and I find in the book of 3 John, the 14th verse, here John is writing one of his many letters in which he, the apostle of love, gives so much that's encouraging and strengthening. But in verse 14, he talks about the time, he says, I trust that I shall be with you and speak face to face. I've got a lot of good memories of the last month or so as we've joined together online, and we've been able to do a lot of things here at the 39th Street Church of Christ to try and keep each other strong and going forward. But brethren, I got news for you. I long for the time that we can speak face to face, that we can see one another. You look and you find in the book of Romans, the first chapter, he again talks about how in verse 11, he says, I long to see you. Brethren, we look and we've been through a lot these last several weeks, seemed like several years to be truthful. But you look at that and you think, what are we longing for? I hear people say, well, I can't wait to go to this restaurant. I can't wait to get back into this store. I can't wait to get back here. But I pray that we as Christians long for the time that we can be together as we should and speak face to face. That we can be with one another in person as we all long for. I worry that some people might have kind of grown hardened, don't need it. But then I come back to my senses and I say, no, brothers and sisters in Christ, we long for that time. So as you go about, you look and you see as things are opening back up, as they call it, and you see these long lines of people waiting, and I hope in the back of your mind and really in the center of your heart that you're like me. Oh, I want to go to restaurants, I want to do various things, but the thing that ought to be in the center of our heart and moving us and holding us fast as we press on is the fact that, as John said in 3 John 14, I trust that soon I will see you face to face. It's going to happen, and it'll happen soon. I hope that's all of our desires. Love you and appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you soon. I long to see you face to face. Thank you for taking the time to watch this short devotional. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll be notified of other devotionals that will be forthcoming. Also, we encourage you to join us online live as we stream our services at each service time. More information can be found on our website at the link below. Thank you.